12 legal takeaways from the first 100 days. Number one, ignoring the Supreme Court of the United States. Folks, they are the highest law of the land, the highest court in the land. You ignore them, you go off the rails and off the reservation. Abrego Garcia, facilitate his return, the Supreme Court said unanimously, all 9. What did the actual government say? We'll do what we want to do. That's a problem. Number 2, disregarding due process. What is due process? I'm entitled to a hearing if you accuse me. You just can't call me a gang member. You just can't accuse me of a crime. We have an evidentiary hearing, and then if after all the evidence establishes it, then we're okay. That's what's called due process, and it's not being followed. It's troubling. Number 3, the arrest of a judge in Wisconsin. Why? Because you don't like the fact that the judge didn't follow your agenda? When you start representing and otherwise arresting people in the judiciary, we have gone off the rails. Number 4, the absence of Congress. You remember Congress, they're those people who make laws, right? But instead, everything's being done by executive order. That means there are no laws. It's just the executive who's making these decisions. Hear this. He has ultimately passed 142, I shouldn't say passed, signed 142 executive orders, okay? Let me give you some context. The context is Biden signed 43, Obama signed 19, George Bush signed 12, and his father signed 11. And there's only really been 5 laws passed by Congress. If you count the funding bills and some other bills where they just undid what Biden did, it's really only 1. That's troubling. Number 5, executive orders. We just talked about them. Ending birthright citizenship? Really? If you're born here, you're no longer a citizen? It's in the Constitution. Everybody look at the 14th Amendment. That's a hint. The fact is that you can't do that through executive order. That's what's called illegal. What else in terms of executive order? DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's a dirty word. What? If you look at the economies of California, the economies of New York, the economies of Texas, they are the largest economies in the United States. What do those 3 states have in common? Diversity, right? And so therefore, why is diversity such a bad word? But we're going to ban everything and anything that deals with diversity. We're going to eliminate federal funding. It's outrageous. And let's get to number 7, Harvard University. You're going to hire who we tell you. You're going to admit the students we tell you. You're going to ban that diversity, dirty word, diversity, equity, or inclusion. And if you don't do it, we're going to take $2.2 billion away from you, and you better do it now. What else? Let's go to number 8. What about law firms? You law firms, I'm going to punish you because you actually filed suit against me or you supported causes I disagree with. We're going to take away your government contracts. We're going to take away your clients that have government contracts, and you're going to be left penniless because you're not following my agenda. And also, you're going to do pro bono work for me, right? And to the tunes of hundreds of millions of dollars. And the event that you don't do that, that becomes troubling. And if you're doing that work, by the way, you're not focusing on people's constitutional rights and violations, so the government can get away with whatever it wants. But there's more. So let's go to number 9, gutting federal agencies. Aren't those agencies established through Congress? And if they're established by Congress, shouldn't there be a bill, a law, right? A resolution, something that Congress passes, remember democracy, such that you can gut agencies, disregard collective bargaining agreements, fire federal workers? Where are we going? That's troubling. And there's more. Number 10, books removed. You're removing books from schools? And the books that you don't remove, if you don't like what they say, you remove the chapters in the book? Where do we live? That is troubling. Number 11, pardoning January 6th defendants. Whoa, convicted felons, run amok, let them all out, right? But you know who the only criminals are? Immigrants. Wow, they are the criminals. Forget about the fact that people who actually had due process, right, went to court and were convicted. So troubling. That is a problem. And last but not least, number 12, DOJ, Department of Justice. Where's their independence? They do what the executive tells them to do. And the one person who tried to give the judge an honest answer, guess what happened to them? Yep, you're right, they were fired. And so that is my 12 legal takeaways. We have an issue. We are a democracy, not a totalitarian state of government. And if this keeps going the way it's going, that's exactly what we will become. Here's the deal. See you on YouTube for more.